Your mother may told you that bad things happen in threes. Okay, that's because life is mostly random. Okay, and in 8 observations, you get a cluster of 3. In other words, a half times a half times a half. So in a 50% system, the hit rate, that's 1 out of 2 you should be right. 1 out of 2 you should be wrong. Okay? What's the probability of 2 bad ones in a row? It's a half times a half. Okay? 2 bad ones in a row. That means in a 50% system, every 4 trades, you have 2 bad ones in a row and 2 good ones in a row. Now, that means that if your hit rate comes down towards 50%, and many trend-following traders would sell their granny for a 50% system. Most trend-following systems are less than 50%. That in 4 trades, you're going to have 2 bad ones in a row. Now, most people will give up after 2 bad ones in a row, but it gets worse. What's the probability of 3 bad ones in a row? A half times a half times a half.
More.
Okay? Which means that you get a cluster of 3 bad ones in a row every 8 trades. You get a cluster of 4 bad ones in a row every 16 trades, and you get a cluster of 5 bad ones in a row every 32 trades. 5 bad ones in a row. How good will you be in executing your system with precision after 5 losses in a row? Okay, and that's the challenge in the short-term markets. As the hit rate comes down, then these ghastly clusters of bad luck start. And of course, a cluster of good luck, you can have a cluster of good luck as well. Cluster of good luck, of course, is actually more detrimental to your health than a cluster of bad luck, because in a cluster of good luck, you've got a little thing between your ears here called a pituitary gland. Okay? And it pumps all sorts of muti. Muti is Zulu. It's a Zulu medicine. It pumps all sorts of muti into your bloodstream. So when you leave the gym after a good workout, you feel good, eh?
Yeah.
All right. And similarly, when you have 1 good trade in a row, 2 good trades in a row, the old pituitary gland gets to work and it pumps this stuff into your bloodstream. You feel good. You become euphoric. And when you become euphoric, the definition of euphoria is invincible. And you start to forget about all those position sizing, only risk 0.5%. You say, let's have a big bet. When you have a run of good luck, that euphoria takes over, and most people, in fact, go bankrupt after a run of good luck, not after a run of bad luck, because they think they're God and they forget about all those position sizing stuff. And it's happened to me on a few occasions that.